Okay, I'm reshooting something that just wouldn't come off. So basically, the last video talked about at the end about distributed wisdom, and I wanted to go into that and give some examples of the kinds of things that we're surrounded with, because wisdom comes into the human biography from all kinds of directions, and you just have to sort of develop an ear for it, and then you'll see that it just surrounds you. I'm going to start off by reading something from the television program Heroes. It was a voiceover that ended the season that ended last spring, I believe, spring of 2009. I don't think it was, this was in the material that came in the fall of 2009. But anyway, this is a voiceover that came at the beginning of the show and then came again at the ending of the show, and it involved the voice of a guy by the name of Suresh, who is a continuing character in there, the Indian scientist. Of course, it was written by the creators of the show for him to speak. There are nearly 7 billion people on this planet, each one of them unique, different. What are the chances of that, and why? Is it simply biology, physiology, that determines this diversity? A collection of thoughts, memories, experiences that carve out our own special place? Or is it something more than this? Perhaps there is a master plan that drives the randomness of creation, something unknowable that dwells in the soul and presents each one of us with a unique set of challenges that will help us discover who we really are. And then this is from the end of the show. We are all connected, joined together by an invisible thread, infinite in its potential and fragile in its design. Yet well connected, we are also merely individuals, empty vessels to be filled with infinite possibilities, an assortment of thoughts and beliefs, a collection of memories and experiences. It's a new beginning now. Can I be me without these? Can you be you? And if this invisible thread that holds us together were to cease, what then? What would become of billions of lone, disconnected souls? There lies the great quest of our lives, to find, to connect, hold on. And where our hearts are pure and our thoughts in line, then we are all truly one, capable of repairing our fragile world, creating a universe of infinite possibilities. Now that's part of the distributed wisdom that comes into the world. I don't agree with certain nuances of it, but it nevertheless frames some really interesting questions. Now I'd like to add a sample from a piece of music. Most of us, well, some of you will be familiar with this. Well, that's the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It's called Christmas Eve Sarajevo, which is kind of an interesting thing, a juxtaposition of the ideas of Christmas with the name of a place in which a few years ago there was great tragedy and woe. Now the interesting part of this, in a certain kind of way, is something that's been going on for some time, of which this is a very good example, which is the fusion of Christmas music with the impulses of rock and roll. Now one feels this music in a quite different way when it's infused with rock and roll. This Christmas music is sort of brought down to earth, made more earthly. The ethereal, heavenly is given a kind of passion, a kind of human passion. And we want to move. We can't sit still when we hear this music. But yet, it's the themes of Christmas. The themes of Christmas that make us want to move. Now, if we sort of join these two things together, this passionate Christmas music and this ideas from heroes, that we are all connected, joined together, and that we are all different, unique, and the mystery of that, it can lead to certain thoughts. And this is what can happen when we encounter the distributed wisdom that surrounds us. We can add our own thinking to it. So, for example, each of us could be conceived as music. Our spirit and soul is a kind of music. And when we follow the threads that connect us to each other, when we follow those threads that connect us to another soul and spirit, to another music, what happens when these two individual and unique pieces of soul and spiritual music meet and dance with each other? Well, this is the substance and weft and womb and whatever. I'm trying to use a thing from the ideas of loom, but looms. You know, this is the way our lives are. This is our biographies. This is an amazing thing where we as individuals move through the world, move through our own biographies, and play our own music and encounter the music of other human beings. It's a rather amazing thing, don't you think?